Alrighty, folks, we're now 4-0 in our last four daily best plays on my premium page. We had the Brewers money line yesterday, and they took care of Baltimore by the final of 5-2. And the good news is I've got another daily best play going off here for Wednesday. That play's already posted and ready for access. And if you sign up for that membership, you're going to get access to that package every single day for the next 30 days. It's only going to run you just 6 cents a day. Of course, if you want to access all of my premium plays, I'll tell you how to do that in just a moment. But before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to my free pick video here today for Wednesday, May 21st, 2025. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day to you. Weekend's right around the corner. We are halfway there. If you're joining me for the first time here today, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. Of course, once again, if you want to access all of my premium plays, you may want to think about signing up for my full access, all-inclusive Gold Club membership. Gold Club members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. Of course, I have plenty of free content on my premium page as well. I currently have over 2,450 members who are signed up and active on my premium page right now. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. Going to start off with the Reds at the Pirates, 12:35 Eastern first pitch. Cincinnati's minus $1.25, totals 8 runs. Brady Singer on the bump for Cincinnati, Andrew Heaney for Pittsburgh. And despite some pretty good stuff out of Heaney this season, the lefty still comes into Wednesday's start with a losing 2-3 record on the year. And most of that is due to a lack of run production. The Bucs are currently the lowest run-producing team in the Bigs. And they're going to face a 5-2 Brady Singer, who's got 43 strikeouts on the year. Of course, this Cincinnati pitching staff has been tough to get base runners against. They don't walk a lot of batters, and they're actually in the top 5 in fewest hits allowed. Now, both teams saw unders in 9 out of their last 10 ball games, respectively. I like the Reds minus $1.25, under 8. Next game, Orioles-Brewers, 1:10 Eastern start. Milwaukee's minus $1.25, totals 8.5. Chad Patrick for the Brewers, Tomo Sugano for Baltimore. And the O's have been quite horrific over the past couple of weeks. Currently on an 8-game losing streak, struggling at the plate. The O's are a bottom 5 run-scoring team on the road. And they're going to face Chad Patrick, who's got an ERA of 3.35, 1.28 whip. And as a team, the Brewers have won 3 straight, and they're actually playing their best baseball at American Family Field. Milwaukee's got a .625 win percentage in their own building. Now, 4 out of the Brewers' last 5 home games did stay under the total. 8-2 to the under in their last 10 at any location. I like the Brewers minus $1.25, under 8.5. Cubs-Marlins, 1:10 Eastern start. Chicago's $1.35, totals 9. Cade Horton for the Cubs, Max Meyer for Miami. The Mayer's just 3-4 with an ERA of 4.47. And these Marlins pitchers have really hurt Miami's chances of winning ball games this year. They're walking more batters per 9 than any other staff, bottom 3 in runs allowed. And unfortunately for them, they're facing a dangerous lineup of Chicago hitters, currently leading the league in runs per game on the road. Seiya Suzuki's got a dozen homers on the year, 43 RBI. He's actually tied for the league lead in ribbies. And Kyle Tucker's driven in 34 runners himself, OPS of 912. The Cubs' last 4 straight on the road got over the total, 8-2 to the over in their last 10 at any location. I like the Cubs minus 135, over 9. All right, Astros-Rays, 1:10 Eastern start. Houston's $1.35, totals 8.5. Hunter Brown for the Stros, Taj Bradley for Tampa Bay. Bradley's just 3-3 with an ERA of 4.80. Of course, the Rays are also playing their worst baseball at Steinbrenner Field. They're just 12-18 in front of their home crowd, and a lot of that has to do with the bats. The Rays are a bottom 10 run scoring team on their own diamond, and they're going to face a 6-2 Hunter Brown, who's got 67 strikeouts and a .83 whip. The righty's also got himself a stingy 1.43 ERA, and that's not overly shocking. The Astros allow fewer hits a game on the road than any other staff. Now, 5 out of the Stros' last 6 road games did fall under the total. 8-2 to the under in their last 10 at any location. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay contest went 7-3 to the under in their last 10. I like Houston minus 135, under 8.5. All right, Tigers, Cardinals, 115 East. St. Louis is $1.20, totals 8.5. Andre Polani for the Cards, Brant Herter for Detroit. Now, Herter is yet to record a loss this season. He's backed by a dangerous lineup of sluggers. Tigers are currently in the top 5 in runs per game. Spencer Torkelson's got a dozen home runs, team leader in runs batted in. Riley Green's got a dozen homers himself, 34 RBI on the season. And out of the Tigers' last 8 ball games, they got the W in all of those contests except for 2. And they're going to take on Andre Polani, who's got an ERA in the 4s, 1.33 whip. And these Cards pitchers are currently in the bottom 3 in strikeouts per 9. Now, 3 out of the Tigers' last 5 in the road did get over the total. 8-2 to the over in their last 10 at any location. I like the Tigers plus $1, over 8.5. Mariners, White Sox, 2:10 Eastern start. Seattle's $1.45, totals 8. Logan Evans for the M's. Shane Smith for Chicago. Despite some real strong stuff out of Shane Smith, unfortunately, he gets little run support. The righty's just 1-3 on the year, and the White Sox are the lowest run-scoring team in the American League. And they're going to face Logan Evans, who's recorded only 1 loss on the year, ERA of 2.57. The Mariners' last 5 straight on the road stayed under the total, 7-3 to the under in their last 10 at any location. Meanwhile, White Sox games went 8-2 to the under in their last 10 themselves. I like the Mariners minus 145, under 8. Royals, Giants, 345 East. San Francisco's minus 210, total 7.5. Logan Webb for the Giants. Louis Avila for Kansas City. And regardless of how Avila pitches in this one, the Royals have had all kinds of issues at the plate. They're a bottom 5 run-scoring team. They play their worst baseball away from Kauffman Stadium. Kansas City's just 10-14 when they hit first. They're facing a Giants squad who's 17-8 at Oracle Park. Tough to score against there. San Francisco's in the top 10 in fewest runs allowed at home. And starting pitcher Logan Webb's been no exception to that. He's got a 5-3 record, ERA of 2.42. The righty struck out 69 batters and has a 1.12 whip. Now, 6 out of the Giants' last 10 outings did stay under the total. Kansas City games went 7-3 to the under in their last 10. I like the Giants minus 1.5, under 7.5 runs in the tight window. Guardians, Twins, 4:10 Eastern start. Minnesota's $1.20, total 7.5. Chris Paddock for the Twins, Gavin Williams for Cleveland. Now, Williams has an ERA of 4.29, whip of 1.64. And these Cleveland pitchers have had a tough time away from Progressive Field. They're in the bottom 5 in runs allowed on the road. They're facing a Twins lineup of hitters who have actually done a nice job at Target Field. They're a top 10 run-scoring team at home. Byron Buxton, he's got double-digit home runs, club leader in RBI. And Harrison Bader's got a handful of homers himself, on-base percentage of .366. Now, total-wise, Cleveland road games have gone 63% to the over. I like the Twins minus 120, over 7.5. Braves Nationals 645 East. Atlanta's a $1.65. Totals 8.5. AJ Smith-Shawver for the Braves. Trevor Williams for Washington. And despite Williams' struggles, it's the Braves who play their worst on the road. Atlanta's just 9-17 in their travels. They've struggled recently against the run line. The Braves failed to cover in 6 out of their last 10 games. Meanwhile, the Nats, they've successfully covered in 6 out of their last 10 themselves. They currently have a winning record against the run line at Nationals Park. C.J. Abrams is hitting .312. Nathaniel Lowe's the team leader in runs batted in. And as a team, the Nats are on a 4-game winning streak. They average 7.3 runs a game during that time frame. Now, total-wise, National games have gone 13-10 to the over in the nation's capital. I like Washington plus 1.5, over 8.5 runs. Mets Red Sox 645 East. Boston's a $1.40. Totals 8. Garrett Crochet for Boston. Tyler McGill for New York. McGill's got 53 strikeouts in 43-plus innings, ERA in the 3s. Despite the recent struggles, the Mets still have a handful of guys who can get on base. Pete Alonso's got an OPS of .944, club leader in RBI. And Francisco Lindor's driven in 28, along with a .350 on-base percentage. And as good as starting pitcher Garrett Crochet's been, the Bo Sox have not pitched all that well at Fenway. They're allowing nearly double-digit hits a game on their own diamond. Now, 6 out of the Bo Sox last 10 outings did get over the total, 63% to the over in their interleague games. I like the Mets plus a $1.20, over 8. Rangers Yankees 705 East. New York's a $1.15, total 7.5. Ryan Yarbrough for New York. Jacob deGrom for Texas. And as good as deGrom's been, well, I'm a bit concerned about run support. The Rangers walk fewer times a game on the road than any other lineup. And no real surprise, the Rangers are a bottom 5 run-scoring team. And they're going to take on Ryan Yarbrough, who's got an ERA in the 3s. He has not recorded a loss yet this season. Of course, as a team, the Bombers are currently 16-9 in the Bronx this year. They've been impossible to hit against at Yankee Stadium. New York's currently allowing fewer hits per game at home than any other pitching staff. 3 out of the Yankees' last 4 home games fell under the total. Ranger contests went 7-3 to the under, and their last 10 at any location. I like the Yankees minus a $1.15, under 7.5. Padres Blue Jays 707 East. Toronto's a $1.60. Totals 8.5. Kevin Gausman for the Blue Jays. Randy Macho Man Vasquez for San Diego. And Randy's backed by a very good lineup of hitters. The Pods actually strike out fewer times a game than any other team. They're also in the top 5 in hits per game on the road. Manny Machado's hitting .310 with a ton of extra base hits. Fernando Tatis with a dozen homers, club leader in ribbies. And they're going to face righty Kevin Gausman, 3-4 record, ERA of .459. And these Toronto pitchers have certainly had their hands full at Rogers Center. They're in the bottom 10 in runs allowed per game at home. Now, Toronto games went 60% to the over in their last 10. 3 out of the Pods' last 4 on the road got over the number as well. I like the Padres plus 1.5, over 8.5 runs. Phillies Rockies 8:40 p.m. East. Philadelphia's 240. Totals 11.5. Taijuan Walker for Philadelphia. Carson Palmquist for Colorado. And through just 4 innings of work, Palmy's got an ERA of 11.25. And that's pretty indicative of this Rockies pitching staff as a whole. They're allowing more runs a game than any other staff in the bigs. And they're taking on a top 10 run-producing lineup in the Phillies. Trey Turner's hitting .305. Kyle Schwarber's tied for the league lead in home runs. And out of the Phils' last 10 meetings with the Rockies, they've averaged over 11 hits a game. So if you're into historical trends, it's been all Phils. Now, total-wise, 3 out of the Rockies' last 4 at Coors Field got over the total. I like the Phillies minus 1.5, over 11.5 runs. Angels Athletics 10:05 East. The A's are minus $1.65. Totals 10.5. JP Sears for the A's. Jack Kokonowitz for Los Angeles. Now, the Angels got the W in their last two Kochi starts. Averaged 5.5 runs a game during that short stretch. When it comes to the run line, the Angels actually covered in 7 out of their last 10 outings. Taylor Ward's got 13 homers, team leader in runs batted in. Nate Shamwell's got an on-base percentage of .366. Now, as a team, the Angels are currently on a 5-game winning streak. 6.8 runs a game they averaged during that span. They're facing an A's team who lost their last 7 straight. Pitching's been brutal at home. The A's are allowing nearly 11 hits a game in front of their own crowd. No real surprise, A's games went 7-3 to the over in their last 10. Angels saw 6 out of their last 10 get over the total themselves. I like the Angels plus 1.5 over 10.5 runs. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. Diamondbacks Dodgers, 10:10 Eastern start. The Dodgers are minus 135, totals 9. Dustin May for Los Angeles, Corbin Burnes for Arizona. And even though Burnes has looked good, the D-backs do struggle on the mound when they travel. Arizona's in the bottom 5 in runs allowed as the road team. And they're facing a Dodger lineup who leads the league in hits per game. Freddie Freeman bats .371. Shohei Ohtani tied for the league lead in home runs. Now, Dodgers games went 6-2 to the over in their last 8 at home. 3 out of the D-backs' last 5 on the road got over the total themselves. I like the Dodgers minus 135 over 9. And with that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Give me the Reds minus $1.25 under 8. Brewers minus $1.25 under 8.5. I'm 4-0 my last 4 daily best plays on my premium page. Cubs minus 135 over 9. Astros minus 135 under 8.5. Tigers plus $1 over 8.5 runs. Mariners minus 145 under 8. Giants minus 1.5 under 7.5 runs. Twins minus 120 over 7.5. Nationals plus 1.5 over 8.5. Mets plus $1.20 over 8. Yankees minus $1.15 under 7.5. Padres plus 1.5 over 8.5 runs. Phillies minus 1.5 over 11.5. Angels plus 1.5 over 10.5 runs. Give me the Dodgers minus 135 over 9. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. And just a friendly reminder, if you do end up signing up for a membership on my premium page, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. Going to be included with your membership. That's why I always tell folks, that Gold Club package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. Gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. But most importantly, folks, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.